Turns out the entire building was attached to the wrong pipe, the purple pipe, the one that comes with the sign that says, "Do not drink, wash hands after contacting." And instead of drinking clean water, the tenants here were basically drinking treated sewage for more than a year. Once the agents are dropped into a zone, they have to deal with pretty treacherous terrain, and that's not the half of it. They also have to do it in the dark. The garbage patch is about 1,000 miles off our coast. So far, researchers have found everything from plastic bottles to footballs, and some think there's about 100 million tons of this junk just floating out there. Steve, I'm at the top of DeVore Stadium on the campus of Southwestern College. Now, this is usually the home of the Jaguars football squad. This week, it's gonna be the home of the Parkview Little Leaguers. Here's the sales tax increase in a nutshell. Right now, when you spend $1 in a Chula Vista store, you spend about 8 cents in sales tax. If the voters approve an increase, that tax is gonna get bumped up 1 penny to about 9 cents, which means if you go to buy a TV set, you're gonna need a lot more pennies. And it would begin working immediately. You'd pop a desal unit right on the beach, and in just a few minutes, you've got clean drinking water. Those improvements could be harder to make in the future because the state's trying to take some of the city's redevelopment money to balance its own budget. This is the big concern out here in the East County, power lines. When the wind comes tearing through places like this, it could be strong enough to knock these lines down. At Chula Vista's best just 3-4 years ago, the city was issuing more than 3,000 building permits per year. Last year, they issued less than 400. This year, they've issued only 1. Biogen IDEC in University City uses water every day in its labs to research, test, and produce drugs for a number of diseases, including cancer. It would take months and hundreds of dollars worth of water just to get this grass looking green again. Instead, Gardner spent $15 in a couple of hours. Hal, it's something straight out of science fiction. Imagine taking a piece of your skin and growing a liver, a kidney, or a heart. Thanks to some local researchers, we're one step closer to making that science fiction a reality. San Diego police say thieves are going after high-end items like cameras, hard drives, and laptops for 2 reasons. They're expensive, and they're small enough to put in a bag and walk away without causing a commotion. But it's not where the nest is that's so dangerous. It's how the birds come and go. You see those power lines up there? If one of the osprey touches 2 of those power lines at the same time, that bird's gonna get electrocuted. Chula Vista is not the first city to see a problem and literally erase it. 2 years ago, National City had a motel right here with the same problems as the Tower Lodge. So they tore it down. No matter how the problem is fixed, most agree it needs to be fixed soon. Engineers say we're losing upwards of 9 to 10 feet of beach sand every year. Most people would think these parents are insane, but when the sun comes up, these guys say it'll be worth the wait. The con is we need some of these germs, also known as bacteria, living on our skin. While some bacteria get us sick, researchers have found a germ that actually protects our immune system. Zufara uses hedgehogs like soy here to take to schools to educate students about animals and the earth. Only problem is, those schools haven't been calling. Here's the problem facing Chula Vista. The state just raised everyone's sales tax by 1 cent. Now, police and firefighters are asking Chula Vista residents to vote for yet another increase. Your first concern is usually how much water am I wasting right now, but it's the pressure of the water that could lead to bigger problems down the road. Noel certainly isn't alone. 12,000 Californians lost their job in just 1 month last August. Now, to give you an idea of how big City Center is, when it finally opens up, it will put 12,000 people to work in just 1 day. Now, besides saving you money on your water bill, a yard like this could also save you money at the grocery store. Right now, we're scaling a mountainside that you wouldn't scale in the daytime. This is how the gray water system works. Water from your bathroom sinks, your shower, and your wash machine come out a separate pipe from your house and collect in a basin. Then when it's time to water your lawn, it goes through this R2-D2 looking machine. It's a filter, and then it goes and waters your landscape. It'll save you about 120 gallons every day. If these tolls do come back, a lot of work needs to be done. They'll need new toll booths. They'll need to change this sign, and they'll need an act of legislation from the state. Now, here's one of the main reasons why these homeowners are upset. Say their water bill is only $50. If his is $2,000 and he doesn't pay it, then his neighbors and the HOA have to pick up the tab. And Eater's invention is turning heads everywhere, from local water districts to the governor's office.
Arnold Schwarzenegger this week.
Here's the problem. The assessor's office usually gets about 2,000 of these applications every year to review people's property. This year, they have 42,000. I called more than a dozen of our local state representatives. Only one got back to me. This is my mother-in-law. If she moves in, I may move out, but there are millions of other Americans who are making room for the in-laws, including President Barack Obama. His mother-in-law is moving into the White House. Now, the attitude here is, of course, not doom and gloom. In fact, the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club expects to meet or beat last year's opening day attendance record of 43,000. Reporting live from the paddock, Joe Little, 10 News. And of course, fans like these, they'll be hanging out here all weekend. And of course, some of them, with their unique skills, hope to get their big break. Reporting live from the ever-colorful Comic-Con, Joe Little, 10 News. Now, coming up on 10 News at 7 o'clock, you won't see these ladies, but we will talk about how security is a big concern for the San Diego Police Department, and they have a new tool to make sure everyone, even these folks, are safe on the beach. Reporting live from Mission Bay, Joe Little, 10 News.